By the way, we're going to stay hydrated during this installation. A guy named Michael J something. He Amazoned it to me. It's so awesome. Let's get that in there. You know what? You got to stir it in there. Okay. You wouldn't do the same. Come on, stop it. You guys, you know you do the same exact thing. That's good. Are you a homeowner who's been shopping for a new air conditioning system and wondering, why does every contractor offer the same expensive brand names? Or maybe you're an HVAC contractor who's tired of paying dealer fees, jumping through hoops, making everyone else rich while your profit margins keep shrinking. Well, today, we're changing that. We're removing this not too old Bryant central air conditioning system and replacing it with something that's disrupting the HVAC industry. And it's called ACiQ, an American family-owned company with roots dating back to the 1930s, headquartered in Ohio, that's changing the way HVAC equipment gets into the hands of contractors. You see, with ACiQ, there's no expensive dealer network, no unnecessary middleman, just high-performance, high-efficiency inverter technology that contractors like me can buy direct. But folks, here is what I absolutely love about ACiQ heat pump side discharge systems. This equipment is private label ready, right out the box. You put your name right on it. Build your own brand instead of spending your career advertising someone else's. And if you're a homeowner, you get a premium performance, exceptional efficiency, whisper quiet operation, industry-leading technology, and often thousands of dollars in savings compared to traditional big name brands. Well, folks, today I'm going to show you exactly how we install one and why we've installed hundreds of these systems and why more HVAC contractors across America are making the switch. Folks, we're decommissioning this Bryant on the right side, not the one on the left. This one services the first floor system. Right now I have my smart probes set up on my high and low side. I got my service wrench ready, and we're going to try to pump this system down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push in on this contactor, jam a tool in there, and we're going to watch our pressures drop. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, folks. So you can see I have 243 and 144. Now this system has a, hopefully you can hear me, has a coil leak on the evaporator coil. The homeowner decided, listen, let's not play games with this thing. Let's not dump any money. Let's put in something high efficiency. It's exactly what we're doing. High performance, high efficiency. Now, the other side. So 62.55. We're dropping slowly, 38. Probably have that internal bypass. It's not going to let us do this, but we're going to try our best. All right, 2 psi and 3 psi. 1. We'll start closing this. So my service wrench wasn't getting deep enough here, so I have to use an Allen key. Tighten that up. All right, I removed the whip, 1/2 inch Liquid-Tight from the load side, L1, L2, and our ground. Now that the system is pumped down, we're gonna cut this line set. Let's cut that. Let's cut that right here. I'm gonna have to extend this anyway, so. Okay, the other one, I want to get inside there. Disconnect our voltages. Sorry, disconnecting our low voltage. That's the Y and the C connection to the outdoor unit from the thermostat. That's this right here. There's 2 wire. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna put along here, exposing that line set, which is 5/8. I guess I should have grabbed the 5/8 by 3/4 inch line set. Line set reducing coupling. Sorry, line set reducing coupling. I guess I should have grabbed the 3/4 by 5/8 reducing coupling, but oh well. Okay, that's cut. Let's take our smart probes off of the system and let's pull this condensing unit out and start cleaning up the work site. All right, let's see what this indoor air handler looks like. Not too shabby. Nice, good base. Cool. Plug and play, huh? Direct replacement?
Pretty close.
What are you going to need? Sheet metal?
I brought a little, but I don't think I'm going to need it.
Okay.
In case I need it.
Cool.
But it should, everything should. Maybe a little bit on the bottom.
Awesome. Well, folks, the old system is officially gone. Daniel and Derek are downstairs removing the old air handler. So while they're doing that, let's focus our attention outside. Take a look at this equipment pad. For nearly 2 decades, this homeowner had a traditional top discharge air conditioning system sitting right there. It did its job, but technology has come a long way since then. But you notice how close they were together? No bueno. No bueno. They have to breed on all sides. There's a reason why there's the manual, the installation manual, the service manual. And a lot of HVAC techs out there have a hard time understanding RTFM. You know, read the factory manual. But that's all good, folks. Today, we're replacing it with this ACiQ Extreme Plus side discharge inverter heat pump system. It's fully communicating, which means these 2 wires, the red and the white, is going to communicate with our indoor unit. Oh, can't wait. Now, before I set this unit into place, I want to explain why we're installing it the way we are. See, this outdoor unit, it's going to sit perpendicular to the house, not parallel like this old one. That gives us excellent airflow, understanding of service access, and it also leaves plenty of room for what's coming next. The homeowner plans on replacing the second system next year. God willing, when that happens, we'll install the second side discharge unit facing the opposite direction, leaving a generous working aisle between the 2 systems. And that's something a lot of contractors don't even think about. Access. We're not just installing equipment for today. We're installing it for 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. Every component should be accessible without having to disassemble the neighboring system or work in a space that's so tight that you got to squeeze like a magician to get in there, or contortionist. And that's the difference between installing equipment and engineering and installation. Here's another advantage of these side discharge units. They're compact. They're incredibly quiet. They're high performance and high efficient. And because the air discharges horizontally instead of straight up, they fit beautifully in locations where vertical clearance is limited or where homeowners want a cleaner, lower profile appearance. Let's get this new unit onto the pad and start building the system the right way. Let's go. I need your thoughts and feedback on this. What do you think? I actually like this layout quite a bit. Here's my thoughts, both as an installer and from a technician perspective, as well as a homeowner perspective, right? We get excellent serviceability. Rotating this unit 90 degrees, perpendicular with the home, gives us clear access to the electrical compartment. Clear access. Refrigerant connections. And the coil not being buried against the wall, even though you need 4 inches or more on the rear and 14 inches on the right side. But folks, I'm thinking about future planning. If the second condensing unit is eventually replaced with another side discharge unit facing the opposite direction, you'll have a dedicated service aisle between the two systems. And that's thinking ahead instead of just solving today's problem. Aesthetics, listen, this ACiQ has a lower profile that looks cleaner than that ugly looking Bryant by Carrier. And it won't dominate this side of the house visually. We're gonna have great airflow, discharge, this clear space here. So a couple things I just want to consider here. Separation for the future unit. I'm going to leave as much room as practical between the two condensers now. So that means shifting the new unit over a little bit more to stay within the pad. That's good. Listen, I'm just thinking about future serviceability. The electrical disconnect is clearly within reach of the unit. We have a nice short whip right there. Line set routing, we're going to figure that out next. I actually wanted to have this up against here and just beeline it with our 5/8 going to our 3/4 inch flare connection for the suction. 3/8 is right there. But then I RTFM'd. And I originally had like this much room. And I'm like, well, wait, I'm not going to have any clearance there. Let me go to the manual, and I see it's 14 inches. And I measured it. I'm going to keep it real. This is 12 inches. I'm just keeping it real. But we got plenty of room there. Possibly redoing the layout here. If I put this unit there, right, and put it on a wall mount bracket, or just leave it on the slab, we could hang the future unit above it. I'm just thinking future use. It's not going to fit side by side. And the whole aisle thing, while it looks great for serviceability, I think it could be more aesthetically pleasing. But this is one of those conundrums. No, but if you like it this way versus the other way, you know, parallel with the house and the future unit going on top of it, because listen, I put it parallel to the house, the other unit is not going to fit here unless you put it parallel to the house, right? So if we make both of them parallel to the house moving forward, okay, great. But if we put one here and then another one above it in the future, I think it'll look pretty cool. But looks don't make a difference here in performance, right? That doesn't change. What changes is aesthetically pleasing. So if you like it this way, you say, oh, plenty of room there, awesome, because you'll have a great service aisle here that's not really needed. You need airflow, right? But whatever, it's your home. It's all good. I happen to like one on the wall, one there. I've done many of them that way. We've done many of them that way, and it looks great. But at the end of the day, listen, you're behind the bushes here. You're not even gonna care. You know, yes, it's whisper quiet, but cool. But you got a solid foot there between the house and the unit. You're a few inches away from the grass, and you'll literally have probably maybe 3 feet here to work with when that unit's replaced and put right there. Okay, you're the boss. Thank you, boss. Because you're signing the checks. All right, folks, you heard the man. Let's remove the screws that hold the line set access. I lost my mic. All right, let's put this off to the side. Yeah, not too shabby. All right, for my line set, I'm thinking about cutting here, coming out, bending, and swooping into the line set connection there. That's what I'm thinking about doing, rather than beelining it. I just think it'll look more aesthetically pleasing. So let me unroll some line set, which I got over here. Now on all of the ACiQ Extreme models, your line set, regardless of size of the system, is going to be the same. You're going to be using 3/4 and 3/8. Some of you guys like to use the hard piping. I'm a fan of the soft copper, the ACR copper. And as long as you make it look nice and straight, okay, we're good. Let's cut here. And I also don't like to tear the armor flex. I like to use a knife. It gives it a nice cleaner look. You know, I just bought a new Navic mini cutter and also the bigger cutter. And you know where they are right now? Sitting on my desk in the office in the shop. Okay. So, there you have it. Yeah, plenty long. Making progress. Making progress. Now this, that 5/8 was a pain to get out. Seemed like it was very thick, but all right. This is what we got. All right, let's see if I get it right on the first attempt. So ideally, flare is going to go there, and that is going to go in there like that. You know what? Not too shabby, folks. Not too shabby. Wow. You know, I was in Ohio at ACiQ headquarters this for the weekend. The wife and I left Thursday, and for the annual company party where it's a barbecue, a huge barbecue for the 4th of July. And I was speaking to Jared. He is a senior technical advisor over at ACiQ. Great guy, man. Great guy. Really, the whole team there is great. But I was speaking to Jared because people keep asking me, and I keep forgetting the exact reasons, but then I remembered once he told me the reason. Like, why don't you install a filter dryer on the system? And the answer is actually quite simple. Let's see. There we go. Right? Do you install a filter dryer on a ductless mini split system? You don't. Right? In essence, it sums it all up at that. Can you add one? Yes. Is it recommended? It's not needed. It's also not needed to insulate the 3/8 line either. But does it hurt? No. If you want to add that, knock yourself out. All right, there's that flare, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect flare. Let's see how this lines up. All right, that's going to go there. So, it does look like, let's see if I get you in right there. If I got to move around the unit, I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. I just want to see how she looks dry fitted. Okay, so that's in there like that. This has got to go down to there. That'll get brazed in. Let's just a little bit more that away. Let's see how this looks. All right, let's. Yeah, that's the way it was looking. It was looking like it was a little cocked. There we go. Wow, so much better. Look at that. That looks freaking perfect. Perfect, folks. Wow. Side view. Ah, see, I knew it. I knew it. We're a little bit pitched down there a little bit, but we are parallel going straight down. Let's see how that bottom line is. Way down the ground here. Okay, looking good. By the way, we're going to stay hydrated during this installation with these Ultima replenishers. This guy named Michael J something. He Amazoned it to me. So let's add this cherry into the water that I took from the shop this morning. By the way, I love my water dispenser. It's so awesome. Let's get that in there. Probably got to stir it, right? Yeah. You know what? You got to stir it in there. Okay. You wouldn't do the same. Come on, stop it. You guys, you know you do the same exact thing. That's good. All right, I'm gonna clean off the end of this 5/8 coming out of the house. And then we're going to braze on a reducing coupling. Man, she is not being that cooperative here, folks. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, 3/4 done. Let's work on the 3/8. Some of you guys give me slack for using a tool, but that is a nice piece of 3/8 copper, straight as an arrow. If you could do that by hand, well, hats off to you. It's funny how these tools wear. 90 is no longer 90. Right? 90 is more like a little bit extra on it now. And so the objective is that's going to go there. We'll put a little kick on it right there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put a little kick on it. I want that to be right against the 3/4. Let's see how this works out for us. I like to eyeball it. Some of you guys like to take forever and do measurements and this and that and blah 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 blah, but I'm just gonna wing it. And I know it's not by the book, but I can make it look real sweet without getting all crazy. Why not, folks? Why not? We're gonna cut that right there, right where my thumb is, my finger. Sorry. I didn't forget the flare nut this time. You know, my flaring tool, she's not the same anymore since Geo effed it up. Yeah. All those compressor sounds on antiquated equipment. Alright. So, I obviously did not put enough kick on that, right? Obviously, right? Oh man, this is gonna look so sweet, by the way. This is gonna look so sweet. Whew, man, oh man, oh man. Listen, folks, I might as well have them both match, right? If one's a little bit of at an angle, might as well make both of them a little bit of at an angle. Perfect. Nice switch. A little bit of flame. I don't want to go crazy with this 3/8. You go crazy with 3/8, you'll put a hole right in it. Let's heat that up. Shoot. Yeah, that looks perfect. All right. Beautiful. Like my coupling? All right. I think it looks really, really nice. And once I add in the Liquidite, which is going to be our communication wire, the 2-wire, I'm using 1/2 inch Liquidite to protect it from the sun. And I got zip tie that together. It's gonna look even awesomer. Wow. Thanks for watching, and thanks for letting me take you along for a ride on decommissioning that old system, installing this. We're gonna keep going here, and yeah, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe, folks. And remember, if you're an HVAC contractor, man, just reach out to me if you need some help on making the transition from traditional single stage or even 2-stage compressor systems to inverter infinite speed systems. Reach out to me, Mike at MikeyPipes.com, and I will do my best to give you advice, guidance. It's quite simple. If you can install a ductless mini split system, this is easier. It really is. And if you want to become a dealer, go to ACiQ.com/MikeyPipes. They will hook you up on your first order. If you mention my name, they will really hook you up, and you will send me a gift. I know you will. I know you will, because guys, the revolution has started and ACiQ has taken over. All right, folks, I got my Black Max digital torque wrench. We need to tighten up the 3/8 and the 3/4. The 3/8, a max of 13.5. Let's go here. 32 to 39 NM, and then the 3/4, 67 to 101 NM. So let's change that. Remember, we want 67 to 101. Let's use that. Setting number 6, which is 85 NM. Let's flare that up. Let's tighten that up, sorry. And then we need 30, the mid-30s for the 3/8. All right. Good. Now, mid-30s for the 3/8. There we go. We good. All right, folks, we're going to work on this disconnect box. Now, I love to do one better than the last, but on every install, I replace the disconnect and I install my custom invention, the Mikey Pipes power management system. This is a surge protection device attached to the plastic weatherproof box. Under the hood, we have a digital smart reclosing protector which senses under and over voltage and shuts the system down. You can connect it to Wi-Fi and download the app. And then we have a 63 amp miniature circuit breaker here. Now this is all mounted on a rail inside this box, and it's designed to replace a disconnect box right there. We're going to put this on there, connect it, and then create a whip from the box to the equipment, and we will basically be providing a premium insurance policy for this equipment, ensuring that the inverter is protected for years to come. All right, let's just check for voltage again. We have, looks like 4.4 volts on L1 to ground, L2 together. It's about 5 amps, 5 watts of power there. Let's get our tools and disconnect this. Okay. Pretty neat, huh? It's pretty cool. So we have our incoming power connections with neutral. Okay. They all get wired in to the circuit breaker. Power flows through the circuit breaker, goes back to the power monitor, the range monitor, and our outlet. So essentially all I have to do now is drill a hole in the back of this, and then drill a hole in the bottom, connect our whip, mount it on the wall. We're going to put it right about there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Wow, went on the first time. Now, I'm about to show you guys something that a lot of you guys, well, maybe I shouldn't stereotype and say a lot of you guys, that many of you seem to overlook the first time or two at the rodeo. And that is this communication wire. All right, this communication wire is 2 wire that was purposed for the 24 volts, which was the Y and the common. Well, if you're going to be using S1, S2, you see R, C, W, Y1, Y2, L, the 2 X's, the B, and the D. You see that? Looks kind of familiar with 24 volts, right? Do not take wiring that you would put on Y1 and common and put it to S1, S2. If you do that, you take 24 volts and put it on S1, S2, you're going to fry that board. And then you're going to be cursing ACiQ, and then you're going to be like, oh, I did RTFM. Read the factory manual, folks. Okay? I can't stress that enough. But if you do, they got your back, okay? They'll overnight you apart or 2-day you apart, and you'll have it. Or, I believe in standardizing my installs that we do, right? I don't go and install 20 different models. I do primarily one product line, which is the Extreme Plus, which is what I'm doing right now. I have the parts kit that's available. It's not that expensive. It gives you the inverter board, it gives you some motors, it gives you some other boards, it gives you thermoresistors, things like that, right? So if you're going to be installing the equipment, buy a parts kit or buy an extra one so you don't have to let your customer wait, you know, a week before it comes in or 3 days before it comes in. Install it the next day. Stock the stuff in your warehouse. You know, if you don't have a warehouse, you're running out of your house, running out of your garage, get a storage locker. They're not that expensive. Why is this not going on there? There you go. There's that one. There's this one. Okay, there you go. And S1, S2. All right. I hoped my talk about the low voltage S1, S2, not putting low voltage on S1, S2, came across on the video. Well, when I went to turn the capture button off, my Meta glasses, version 2 by the way, told me that the batteries are too hot to process that, so hopefully we're good. Pulling out the core valves on the service ports because we are ready to do a nitrogen test. Make sure we have no leaks here. Okay, those are the 2 core valves. I'm just gonna keep that back on there. Actually, hold on. Let me just do this right now. Let me put the straighter core removal tool on both. You want to keep the line set not open to the atmosphere at all. I know that's impossible to do, but if you limit the time that the line set is open to the atmosphere, you're going to have less chance of those non-condensables getting in there. Yep, I got a leak. Let's take care of that leak right now. I got nitrogen set to braze. Let's see if I can get this without messing anything up right here. Let me open up the other side. Oh, see? Looked away for 1 second and I burnt the line set. Sucks. All right. Hopefully no more baby leak. What? Jeez Louise, come on. Put that back to braze. Man. Okay. This tank's almost empty. Just add a little more pressure there. I don't want to deal with any more leaks right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is a few minutes after 11. 450 and 212. It's in microns. That's what we're reading here, folks. So 210 and 440. And dropping. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. We're going to let this run now. I'm going to drill some holes in the cement slab here. Run some threaded rod into the ground and secure the outdoor unit to the ground. All right, 1135. Let's see what we're working with here. 95 microns and 199. This stupid thing does not shut up. All it does is beep and turn off prematurely. And we go back down. Okay, good. I gotta tell you, this Navic micron gauge, it really sucks. It always turns off, right? I guess it's trying to save battery, but then it beeps. How about don't beep and just save battery by not making a noise? I know I should RTFM, right? Read the manual and disable it, but it should be like that out of the box. All right. Let's get our service valve caps back on. Give it a little extra on it. Well, the dark gray is real sexy. It also gets very hot in the sun. but I still love it anyway. Okay, there's this one. Let's take this one off. And we're ready to turn the system on. You good?
Yeah, you need anything?
No.
Drink?
No, I just had.
It's really hot where you are.
I know this thing's hot as balls. Touch it.
The unit? Yeah, that's hot.
It's hot. Yeah. But we're almost done, right?
Yep.
Excellent. Be done by noon. All right, Daniel gave me the go-ahead to fire up. All right. The voltage range monitor and protector is powering up. We have illuminated control board, and we also have an active call for cooling right now. So in a few moments, the condenser fan motor will come on, and then our inverter driven compressor. Back to the surge protection device. I hand make these, assembled in Woodmere, New York. They start at $175. Go to mikeypipes.com/shop for more information if you want to secure one for your inverter driven equipment, whether you got a mini split or a inverter system. It's a great tool to have because it will shut down at under voltage and also over voltage, and it automatically resets. You can configure it to Wi-Fi. Pretty neat. So we have an exterior mounted surge protection device. I also have ones that are larger in boxes. You know, they have the more rectangular, and everything is rail mounted. So if you're interested in that, just email me, mike@mikeypipes.com. I'll give you some more information. The fan just kicked on. Literally, as I stopped recording, I heard the fan kick on. Pretty cool. Whisper quiet. How I bolted it to the earth, I took 3/8 threaded rod, about 24 inches long, cut it with the bandsaw, drilled a hole through the cement into the dirt, and hammered them down. It's not going anywhere, folks. Oh, so beautiful. It's getting way too hot. Right in the sun. So I got my shade. Let's put that right there, maybe. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, nice and beer can cold. Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, folks, it's that time. It's cleanup time. We also did a quick calculation because they used 5/8 and 3/8 line set. We measured the distance. We don't got to add any refrigerant. So even better. So right now the system's running, actively cooling the second floor of this home. And wow, I think it looks sexy. All right, I repositioned the umbrella. I want to give you guys a good glimpse of the voltage range monitor and what's it doing. Let's see. There we have it. It's still hard to see. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I tried. I really tried. Let me try to get my other phone. Sorry. I really tried. It's just too bright to see. Yeah, that liquid is hot. Whee! But it is a premium insurance policy to protect the equipment. You know what? I realized that I can use the app, connect the breaker. Oh, failed to add this device. Oh, come on, really? Perform the following troubleshooting steps. Reset the device, then try again. Check whether the network is fine. Oh, man. That sucks. Oh, man, I really wanted to connect this to the system. Oh, man. Oh well. This is how I keep it uncut, unedited, and raw. Oh man, really? Come on, baby. Don't fail me. Alright, we'll try it again later. Let's put those valve cores back in. There you go. Okay. There's the low side. Okay. Let's get that cap back on. Let's do the other one. Well, folks, that's a wrap. Another successful installation of the ACiQ Extreme Plus high performance, high efficiency, side discharge, inverter driven heat pump system. One question that I always get quite frequently, Mikey, what does ACiQ stand for? By the way, do you see ACiQ name anywhere in the system? No, it's nowhere. You know, a lot of people assume it's air conditioning intelligence. And honestly, I do too. But I had an opportunity to sit down with Kevin Brock, the owner of ACiQ, over this past weekend, and he explained what it really means. Always creating innovative quality. And after installing these systems, basically across the country, I can tell you that that's more than just a slogan. That's their philosophy. They're building inverter-driven, high-efficiency equipment that skips expensive dealer networks, giving homeowners a better value while allowing HVAC contractors like myself to increase their profitability by buying direct from the manufacturer. And if you're a homeowner looking for premium comfort without paying premium prices, or if you're an HVAC contractor ready to become an ACiQ dealer, check out the links in the description box down below. If you're a dealer, if you're an HVAC contractor licensed in the United States, you want to become a dealer for free with no obligation, no cost, go down to ACiQ.com/Mikey Pipes. Tell them I sent you. They'll ask you about how you heard about us. Go to social media, and then you'll select me, YouTube, Pipe Doctor Mikey Pipes. Make sure you mention that, because on your first order, you have to mention this. Tell them you want the Mikey Pipes exclusive first order discount. You're going to be blown away by what they offer you. And now, folks, there's only one more thing left to do, and that is put on my private label onto the front of the system. When you become an ACiQ dealer and you hit that silver status in your dealership with ACiQ, you will get a free designed private label sticker to put on your equipment. You notice I didn't take anything off the system. Nothing. But I added my own private label right there. And also, you can scan that QR code, because if you got ACiQ, I sure do. Scan that QR code in for more information. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's go take a look inside in the basement. Oh, and did I tell you that the system's running? Yeah, whisper quiet, folks. Whisper quiet. All right. Oh, I didn't expect to see you down here.
Oh, sorry.
Let's check out. No, don't apologize. So you got the air night. Beautiful. Wow, this thing really, really, really came out sweet. A new hydronic coil for heating. Air purification, ultraviolet. Nice line set modifications. New condensate pump, condensate trap with the brush, the condensate alarm, and the media filter. Wow, this is sexy.
What temperature do you usually set up? At home.
I keep mine at like 66, 68.
Holy smoke! That's like freezer temperature.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thermostat. Communicating or non-communicating?
Not communicating.
Okay. Cool. Beautiful.